All right, so this video we're going to go over the area and perimeter in the formative. So what we've got here is this area of the trapezoid showing to the right, and we want to know which is the correct area formula. So what we're going to be doing is we have to look at, okay, well, what is the trapezoid's area formula? Well, we know that the area and perimeter of a trapezoid is 1/2 times the base 1 plus the base 2 times your height. So looking here, I need my base 1, which is 15, plus my base 2. So I need 15 plus 10. So I know that it's going to be either C or D. And it's going to be 1/2 times those and then multiplied by the height. Now the height in here, remember, is to the base to the very top of the the figure. And so here it is 12. So we need to find 10 plus 15 multiplied by 12 multiplied by 1/2. So the correct answer here is C. Okay. So I want you to make sure you highlight that in your formative. Now I need to know, okay, it wants me to figure out what the area of the shaded region here is. So we're going to go ahead, and I've drawn it here on my paper. So we're going to go through, okay, if I want to know the area of this figure, how am I going to figure it out? So I see that, well, it's a triangle, but I don't, so trying to figure this out, I see that it is a triangle. So I've got to think of, okay, well, a triangle formula, I'm going to use a different color so you can see it a little bit better. The triangle for area formula is just 1/2 base times height, right? Well, if we look here, we see that this has a base of 1 and has a height of 4. So if I take 1/2 times the base, which is 1, times 4, which is the height, I get 1/2 times 4, which is 2. So I get 2 feet squared for this area of this triangle. And make sure we got to use the right height. So if I use this base, which is the easiest base to see, I have to use from the bottom to my highest point. So my height is really from here to here. So it's really showing me that the height is there. Okay. And this next part is the area and perimeter of this composite shape. So what I'm going to do is we're going to look at perimeter first. So what I need to do in order to find the perimeters, I need to figure out what all my missing side lengths are. So here I've got 5, I've got 6, I've got 2, and I have 2 side lengths that I don't have the actual length for. But I can figure it out. Because if I have 6 feet here is long, and then I have 3 feet here, this total width has to be 6 feet. So I know that from here to here is also 3 feet. Okay, and the same thing goes for this one. If I have 5 feet here, 2 feet is taken up by this, that means this part has to be 3 feet as well. So I know that this is also 3 feet. So for my perimeter, it's pretty easy. Once I find all my side lengths, I just have to add everything together. So I'm going to start at the 5 and go clockwise. So I've got 5 plus 6 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, which if you add them together, you got 11, 13, 16, 19, 22. So that equals 22 feet. Okay. Now for area, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break up my shape a little bit so that I can figure out, there's 2 different ways you can find the area, and I'm going to show you both. So the first one for area, I'm going to break up the shape. So I'm going to just cut it right here, because if I cut it right there, I notice that I have 2 different rectangles now. I have this big rectangle, which is a 5 by 3, and a rectangle's area is base times height. So I've got 5 times 3, which is the 15 feet, and I've got 3 times 2, which is the 6 feet. And they're both squared because it's an area, feet times feet squared. So then I'm going to add those 2 together. So I've got 15 plus 6. That's going to give me 21 feet squared. So you can either do it that way, or what you can do is you can take this big rectangle that I see here. So the big rectangle is like this, all the way out here. So I see that there's a big rectangle, right? And there is this chunk missing from the big rectangle. So I'm going to just go ahead and highlight that in pink. Don't mind the cars passing outside. Okay, so then this is what's missing. So I've got to figure out, okay, the big rectangle is the whole thing, and I'm going to subtract my missing piece here. So if I take the whole thing, it's a 5 by 6 rectangle. So I'm going to take another way to do area. Ooh, that's kind of rough to see, so let me just area. Okay, so if I've got my area, I'm going to take my big, so my 5 times 6, 5 times 6, that's going to give me 30 feet squared. And then I'm going to take the missing piece here, which is a 3 by 3 area. So I've got 3 times 3, which is going to give me 9 feet squared. And so to find the total area, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add those, or I'm going to take my total here and subtract my missing piece. So I'm going to take my 30 feet squared, and I'm going to subtract 9 feet from it, 9 feet squared from it, and I get 21 feet squared. So as you can see, you should get the same answers either way that you choose to do it. So you can either break it up, or you can take the large rectangle that it's made out of and subtract the small. So remember, if you have any questions, please feel free to let us know.